Chateau Apollinaire with Dr. Robin Wood, and he's the president and founder of Renaissance2. So, Robin, what exactly is Renaissance2, and why did you decide to start this organization?
Well, Matthias, the current crisis we're in globally was of increasing concern to me and a number of people around me over the last few years, and it was evident that there's a breakdown in our global system, I think ecologically, economically, and also culturally. And we need to create a new model for a global civilization which isn't there yet. So there are three things that are a real problem, that are challenges that we have to change.
Okay.
The first thing is that the silos in which business, government, NGOs, and investors operate are currently limiting what can be done to make accelerated changes happen, transformations happen ecologically, economically, and culturally. The second problem we have is that there are no one is actually accountable for the global system. The United Nations has some accountability through its multiple agencies, but they all have their own particular silos again. And we have a problem that in business, they currently conceive of their role as adding shareholder value and not solving the fundamental problems of society. The third issue we have is that the money that's flowing around the world is still seeking to maximize its return irrespective of the consequences for the global economy and for countries, and that is increasingly unacceptable, as we've seen in the G20 forum, and there are now changes coming to the global monetary system and financial system through the IMF, through the World Bank, and multiple other institutions to ensure that capital
So, within this set of problems, what do you think can be solutions to that, and how do you want to contribute to that with Renaissance2?
We're a social innovation catalyst.
Okay.
So what does that mean precisely? Well, if capitalism 1.0 is broken, we need to have a broader level of social innovation than we currently have with business, technological, and cultural innovation. Social innovation is something that looks horizontally across the problem and says, here's a community, here's a city, here's a part of a country, a region, that needs transformation. And it currently is struggling because the optimization in our system is not around that community, city, or region. It is around the corporations, the governments, the NGOs, the investors in those cities and regions. And they're seeking to all maximize their return at the expense of, in fact, not deliberately, but it ends up being at the expense of the communities that are out there. So even the biggest corporations in the World Business Council for Sustainable Development and other fora have recognized this is a real issue. So they are starting to make a difference to what they call the bottom of the pyramid at one level, the 4 billion people who are actually not involved in the global economy. For the 3 billion people that are involved in the global economy, there's clearly got to be a shift to how we live our lives to be more based around renewable energy. Not only that, we need to focus on our environment as such to make it resilient. That's both to deal with the consequences of climate change as well as the consequences of the social changes that are going to be coming, the economic changes. The third thing that we have to do is we have to encourage all of the big media, big government, big organizations, big NGOs, and big investors. We have to encourage them to fundamentally shift the way they operate with each other and with communities. That involves changes to business designs, business models, organizational designs, and what we call an enlightened enterprise structure. The final part of this, that is the hardest part, is integral governance. What we mean by that is a governance system that allows the individuals and communities who are making these changes to have some leverage. Because right now they're fighting against the system.
Okay.
And government, even if it's well-intentioned, is making this extremely difficult and time-consuming. We have to cut through that to make it work.
So you would have integral government supporting the work which needs to be done to get to a better place.
Organisations such as the World Futures Council in Europe here is doing a great job at working with the European institutions. In America, the State of the World Forum is again starting up to have some influence and say on this. Of course, the Obama government is doing a good job as far as it can do in the existing system to make a shift. And in themselves, however, none of those are enough. Otherwise, we would obviously we support what they're doing, but we need to accelerate this process, and that's where Renaissance2 comes in.
Right. So I guess that on the higher level, politicians, Obama has a very clear view on what needs to happen, and I guess we don't have to tell him. So what's your approach of making the change? Who are the people you will be dealing with?
Well, our focus is on the doers, because what Renaissance2 is, the people involved in Renaissance2 are all leading innovators in their own field.
Okay.
And they're innovators in either renewable energy, resilient environment, enlightened enterprise, integral governance, or they're leaders in what we would call conscious evolution. So at the same time as we're shifting these systems, we have to shift mindsets.
Yes.
We have to win hearts and minds. And essentially, it's very difficult to see the need to change without a certain level of consciousness. And equally, we're not expecting everybody to evolve like that into enlightened beings. So we have to have ways of translating the work we're doing into a language that motivates those who are not yet thinking globally or world-centrically.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Robin. I'm really looking forward to this event, and I'm curious what will come out of it in terms of tangible projects which will be worked on towards October. And I'm really hoping that Renaissance2 will be taking off high speed. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being concerned of what this world needs, and join us. Come to see us in June, see us online, and meet you latest in October to make a really important impact.